Hi Aquarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2015, and as the same as last month, this month and next month, your ruling planet is making a really very positive aspect and having a very uplifting sort of interaction with the planet Jupiter, but more on that later. Until the 21st, the Sun is right down at the root of your chart. Until the 12th, Mars is also there with the Sun. So the Sun and Mars at the root of your chart sort of hints at you being busy right in your own backyard, or if it's not your own backyard, then in a location. Or to do, maybe it's not that, maybe it's to do with family or neighborhood or community. It's got a real sort of family, tribal feeling with it. And so it may translate as property matters. It may translate as you feeling more sensitive and you feeling that you want more privacy as well every now and again, because you are quite a sociable sign, you're an air sign, but with the Sun and Mars there, perhaps those of you who are able want to do some DIY or some tidying up or some spring cleaning or whatever on the home base. Or if you're not at home, then you will be busy, as I say, probably within a kind of location or a community, or with a family member or family members, or that might be extended family as well. So there's a real collective feeling around this. Mercury and Venus are in a very sort of party mood. They're feeling quite light-hearted. You enjoy playing with ideas. It can be quite romantic. It can be sort of childlike and innocent, but also it can be working in other ways, that you are feeling competitive, that you are having more involvement with leisure pursuits of various kinds, maybe hobbies or things that you do outside of like your main work or what you're used to doing every day. There's generally laughs and distractions going on, and a kind of a childlike sort of energy, and also you could be having more interaction maybe with I said, you know, partners, romantic partners, but also children and animals as well. Mercury's going to be doing a couple of things which can sort of mean a cloud comes over the Sun, though. In the first week, Mercury goes across Saturn by opposition, and that can just slow things down and just mean that you've got more on your mind. You've got more mental stuff to deal with. And then there's a gap, and then Mercury goes retrograde on the 19th for 3 weeks. So you may or may not know, but when Mercury goes retrograde, things just slow down. We get delays, we get postponements, we get cancellations, or we just don't get that person coming back to us with an answer as quickly as we wanted, or something like that. Because Mercury's in this area here, it may mean that romance or speculative interest or anything, because the position of Mercury all month can be quite enterprising as well, quite creative. But when Mercury goes retrograde from the 19th, that might mean that any sort of creative or entrepreneurial sort of ideas that you have, or competition, anything like that, there may be obstacles. Things may stall. Creative or promotional activities hit a glitch. So whatever it is that's raining on your parade, it could be to do in the romance department as well, or with children. Whatever it is will have to be worked through and refined, because the retrograde means that we've just got to be more thorough, and we were slowed down, so we have to be more thorough with wherever Mercury is sitting in our chart. So here you just have to kind of accept this rather slower energy, and this sort of ease of the flow kind of gets interrupted a little bit. It's got to go around a few sort of more labyrinthine course, but the end of it would probably mean that you feel stronger in yourself, and you feel as though your confidence has returned. So until the 8th, Venus is there as well, meaning, well, that can be very loving. That can mean that you're really, really relaxed and happy with the guys or the girls or whoever you're hanging out with. Or it might mean in the love department as well, as I mentioned, or with children. But it can also put you in touch with your own inner child and your own urge to play, just play. And of course, there's always the chance that we burn the candle at both ends, but social get-togethers may revolve around just enjoyment, pleasure, and why not, but also may have a theme to do with performance, theatre, art, speculative interests, and the like. And then Venus moves out of there and goes into an area which is more grown-up and serious and practical and hard-working. And that means that if you are assisting somebody or somebody is assisting you with a service that they provide or skills that they have, or you're assisting them with skills that you have, the interaction is likely to be quite pleasant, because Venus likes, doesn't like things to be discourteous or to be unfair. But Venus can, with a smile and with charm, wind anybody round her little finger and get exactly what she wants. But anyway, the interaction is likely to be pleasant with any kind of ongoing problem. This is an area to do with maintenance and repairs, but it's also diet, health, exercise, that kind of thing as well. So again, if you have been looking for somebody to work with any of those things, you're likely to find the right person. Venus will be there for about 3 weeks. Now, Mars moves out of this very spontaneous, fun sort of area. Mars moves into this spontaneous, fun area from the 12th. So we get a lot of emphasis on this area where you feel more spontaneous, less self-critical maybe, and freer. So whatever's going on, you're likely to feel more center stage. Maybe you'll have eyes for someone, or they'll have eyes for you, and being more in touch with your inner creative core, whatever it is you're doing. So it might be work, it might not be romance or art or, partying at all, but it might be. Anyway, for your information, know that there's more of an opportunity to access those types of activities with these planets in these areas. And then Mars goes then in there on the 12th from the root of your chart, where you will busy within the locality and maybe feeling a bit more sensitive. And then Venus comes in to join Mars on the 21st. And then you will be feeling this this more extrovert, freer vibration, and you could be more involved with those who are just out to have a good time, and why not? And laughter is the best medicine. So you'll just tend to feel I would think more like you've got the permission to just kick over the traces and be more in that young energy, that child energy, kind of touch that base with yourself. Now, oh yes, and Mars will also be going across Saturn by opposition at the beginning of the 3rd week, so that can slow things down a little bit and put more on your shoulders. Maybe your energy takes a dip. And also the Sun opposes Saturn in the first half of the last week. So it's always swings and roundabouts. So when the Sun opposes Saturn, there can be challenges there where you've got to take things more seriously. You've got to be more responsible with the Sun. But these are very, very brief, fleeting aspects. And now Saturn is in a transit through Sagittarius until next month, actually, when Saturn goes back into the previous sign, which puts it at the top of your chart. At the moment, Saturn is in a very good angle to your sun sign, putting you putting a steady flow of energy for you to cultivate others through the group, through networking, friendships, a hierarchy of some kind, finding your place in the pecking order, and slowly integrating, but being changed at the same time, not overly influenced though, keeping your same, it's a little bit like a harmony, really. It's kind of like, you know, the Beach Boys wouldn't have had that sound if each one of them hadn't just kept to their own piece of the tune. There's probably a clever word to describe it, but anyway, each one sang in harmony with the others. And this is what it comes to mind for me, is that you have to keep to your own special sacred song within the harmony of the whole. And this is a very important thing for this transit of Saturn. There will be a hiatus between June and September when Saturn goes back to the top of your chart, but then we'll come back into this position that I'm telling you about until 2017. And this is a time for progress through the group and through making friends and connections and cultivating people, but still staying true to your own song line, as it were, and as you go forwards. And you Aquarians born the 20th to the 24th of January, or with 0 to 4 degrees rising, very, very early Aquarians, you guys are going to feel this energy the most over the forecast period. Now, I mentioned your ruling planet to you at the beginning, and Jupiter is going to be opening the way to growth through close personal and professional alliances. That special someone or those special people could arrive in your life. This will be a great time to be making friends, but also really bonding and clicking with somebody very special in your life. And if you're already with that special person, then this should enhance things, and maybe the pair of you will be making these new friends or new associations. But because of close associations through this quite long transit of Jupiter, your horizons are definitely going to broaden. You are going to be really quite surprised sometimes and amazed at different people's different slants on things, and others will be interested in your take on things, because that is the proper way, the correct way for this Jupiter transit to be translating itself into our lives. It's not a one-way street where you just, you know, in admiration for somebody, but they are taking you casually, because if you find the right person, it's a reciprocal kind of thing. And also in business, you know, in like work colleagues and so on, again, you could be hitting it off with people and feeling a real rapport, and you'll learn a lot through them. But this transiting, this time of the transit between Jupiter and Uranus is really, really full of huge potential for you, where you could be doing something that nobody expected. Well, that's kind of your thing anyway. But what I'm trying to say is this is a time for experimentation. This is a time for really thinking outside of the box, related to partners and those that you work with, and the way that you're working with them, the way that you're the way that you come across, how you're seen by others, not necessarily in an ego sense at all, but as yourself. This time is encouraging you to take new initiatives, and also to progress with something that maybe you'd put on the side or on the shelf a while back, something that you had always wanted to get round to. Now maybe this is your chance to make some progress with that, to really progress with that. These two planets, Uranus, your ruling planet, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion and learning through doing, the two of them together, they really do go well together. There's a little bit of fairy dust with those two, and it's almost as though if you push it, you know, if you really reach into somewhere a bit crazy, it just could pay off. That's the sort of feeling of it, you know. They were pretty close together in April. They're a little bit wider apart, but still working with each other by degree of orb, and then they come back closer together again in late, well, second half of June, actually. So just be aware of that and work that energy. It becomes more noticeable in June. You Aquarians born the 1st to the 6th of February, or with 12 to 17 degrees rising, are going to feel that energy the most this forecast period. I say the most. Of course, those of you outside of that, in lessening degrees further and further away, but on either side of that, really feeling it very strongly as well, but not right in the zone. And that's it for May. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. And also, this is written up on my website. The basics of it, the bones of it, is on my website, so you might like to read that. And I'll see you the next time.